Alex Grinch can't come back next year. Can he? His schemes and calling are not championship caliber.
Yeah, so Eddie, we did address this on, so this is our 28th live show. So you just look for Mark Rogers go to YouTube, look for Mark Rogers USC Trojans Live 27. That will be the broadcast that really fleshes out the Alex Grinch discussion. But just to kind of give that the Cliff Notes version, he should get next year. But like if the coaching carousel spins in certain ways that an elite defensive coordinator happens to be available on the market, if you're Lincoln Riley, you owe it to yourself, to the USC fan base, to the program, to the players, to go out and grab that guy. I mean, I don't think if you're Lincoln Riley, you go out of your way to look for that guy. But if an elite defensive coordinator becomes available, you grab him, because Alex Grinch is not yet an elite defensive coordinator. But if we're just looking at the question of, do you keep him? Do you fire him? You keep him, because you knew all along that the cupboard was thin on defense this year. And Grinch, moreover, he did a great job in the first 6 games. Now, the last several games, yeah, it's all spun sideways. But and even if these last 2 games don't go great, still what he did against Oregon State, what he did against Washington State, he has overperformed through 10 games, but obviously with the last 4 games, he's not overperformed nearly as much as he did overall compared to the first 6. Like after the first 6 weeks, we were thinking Broyles Award candidate. He's in the mix for the Broyles. And now it's just, well, like these last few games have been pathetic, but over as a body of 10 games, he hasn't been, let's put it this way, he has not been worse than expected. I'd say he's still been slightly to moderately better than expected as a 10-game body of work. But of course, the last month has been atrocious. There's no getting around it. And so, we need to see adjustments here. We need to see a sign that he can, X and O his way against, especially UCLA. Like Notre Dame, with the lack of a passing game, that should be a much easier assignment comparatively. But if he does give up 62 to UCLA, that's Todd Orlando country. And that would be, a 5-alarm fire. There's no doubt about that. And Lincoln Riley would at least need to think about 2023 if that happens. Now, the odds of that, not high, but, it's within the realm of possibility. So, we'll see if how these next 2 games go, and that will determine how much of a question there is surrounding Alex Grinch. But I think overall, you should, the first lean, the primary inclination should be, give him 2023, because there should be more talent, should hit the transfer portal, a full recruiting cycle. We should be able to give Alex Grinch many more quality players. This was not supposed to be fully fixed and solved in 1 year. Like, no one should have had that idea. And maybe the first 6 games gave everyone the impression that, it would just continue to be a steady climb. Just the defense was good through 6 games. It would just keep getting better. Well, let's remember, the opponents got better. I mean, certainly Utah, and now you have UCLA. So a little bit more of a backloaded schedule. I mean, not the Colorado pocket, but like Arizona has a legitimate offense. We saw that against UCLA. There have been some really tough offenses that USC has gone against, and then UCLA is certainly a supreme challenge purely from an offensive standpoint. He fundamentally, Alex Grinch should deserve a 2023 season, but if you can find an elite defensive coordinator without going out of your way to look for one, like if someone comes up on the marketplace, or if the UCLA game is an absolute disaster, a la Todd Orlando last year, then we can revisit the conversation. I think that's the best overall way to handle that particular question.